Welcome to my kitchen. Happy National Nutrition Month, Kay.
And Nutrition Month, babe.
Thank you. We're so glad to be here and really glad that you could join me here at my Facebook Live program. So today we're celebrating National Nutrition Month and of course celebrating a world of flavors, which is an exciting topic to bring to you. And Kay's going to get us started with a very super cool recipe. What are we making today?
We're going to be making flower mushrooms. It's a recipe that I got from a longtime friend who is part Chinese.
Very cool.
So I'm very excited. We're excited to be here.
Great. First step, what do we do?
So the first thing, we need some king oyster mushrooms. And the first thing that we have to do is just dust them off. So we take them off the package. Just be very gentle to make sure that break them off.
And I was reading that with this recipe you can actually use other mushrooms to make this.
Yes, if you don't find the king oyster mushrooms, there are many other mushrooms that you can use. There's zucchini, portobello, shiitake, but these are recommended as the best just because of their flavor.
Oh, nice.
And just how nice and big they are and how they opened up like a blooming onion. And did you know there are 6 types of oyster mushrooms?
I personally did not, so that's news to me. Now I like how you're cutting it. You're cutting them into rounds about, it looks like about 1.5 inches to maybe 2 inches deep.
That is correct.
Great.
So we cut them, and then you can save the caps for a different recipe. So we'll put this to the side.
Very cool.
And then the next step is we have to cut them a certain way. So I use chopsticks. This is the recipe was indicated as a guidance so that we don't cut all the way through. So just kind of slice down a little bit.
And they kind of squeak a little bit, which makes it kind of funny.
Yeah. They feel a little rubbery.
Are they fragile?
A little. You do have to be a little careful. So this is just how we cut them.
Actually, I'd like to take one of these up and show everyone what that looks like because it just makes a little grid pattern there. And actually, it is pretty sturdy. It's not as fragile as I thought it was going to be. So after you finish cutting those, I know the next step is to microwave them. We're going to take a little bit of a shortcut because the recipe says that we should be dropping them into water. But for the sake of time, we can also put them in the microwave and place a wet paper towel over them. Nuke them for about 2-3 minutes and they're going to come out just perfect. I am going to warm up our oil because that is an intermediate step here where we will be dropping them into oil and frying them up so they get a little bit crispy and will add some real excitement to this recipe. One of the things I really like about this recipe, and I think you guys are going to love it too, is how beautiful the mushroom's going to cook up and turn into a flower. And this is going to add just a beautiful touch to any presentation, whether it's as an accent or you're serving these as more of a main dish and really showcasing them. And I also liked, you did a little bit of research about mushrooms, and mushrooms have, 15.5 milligrams of sodium? So that adds like a real umami taste, that savory taste that helps us appreciate kind of those savory tones in food, and will also help us not need to use as much sodium when we cook. In other words, we don't have to sprinkle as much salt.
That is correct. We can actually be free to use other spices that are salt-free, things like cumin, garlic, onion powder, or even paprika.
Very nice. I love those flavors all together. I kind of like a spice blend. One of my favorites is cumin, paprika, smoked paprika actually. So see, I've got these covered with the wet paper towel. I'm going to pop them right into the microwave. And like I said, we're going to cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes. And when they're done, they will look like this. So I'll let you show us what the next step is in terms of getting some of that extra liquid out of them.
So the next step is after you microwave them or boil them in some salt water, or like we did here, microwave with a paper towel, then you just use a towel to kind of squeeze out gently a little bit of that excess moisture and excess water. Since they're going to be fried, you want to make sure that there is no water just soaked up in there. So we do each one of these, and for the sake of time, I'm only going to do 3.
Very nice. And while you finish up there, I'm going to go ahead and get our cornstarch together with a little bit of pepper. So I'm just going to pour out the cornstarch onto a plate. And I've got about a cup pre-measured. And to this, I'm going to add a touch of pepper. If I had some of those spices like a garlic powder or onion powder, I think that would be absolutely lovely to add. And then whisking that together is going to distribute the pepper or whatever seasoning you're using nice and evenly. And
I actually got a chance to do all of them.
Awesome. So I will swap out the plates and let you coat those. I'm going to check the oil back here.
Just make sure that it gets really good in there. You can actually squeeze it down a little bit to make sure that the cornstarch goes deep inside the mushroom. And when it's nicely coated, just kind of shake them off.
Looks good.
This side.
I'm going to do one right up here and just so that everybody gets their hands nice and dirty. Not really dirty, but covered with cornstarch. And you can see how I'm just packing it into all those little pieces. No, that's going to be so lovely. All right, I'm going to drop these 2 into the oil and let you maybe coat a couple extra.
Absolutely. So we'll grab it here. Same thing, put on the cornstarch. And you know, Libby, when I was doing my research, one thing I found really interesting about these mushrooms is they have a good amount of niacin, which is a B vitamin.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're a good source of this B3 vitamin. Niacin is sort of like an antioxidant, which is good to reduce oxidative stress, which happens when molecules like free radicals from foods that are processed. These free radicals cause cell damage,
Yes.
and they can lead to illnesses and aging. So consuming things like these mushrooms high in niacin can actually provide the antioxidant property to help us have a well-balanced diet.
Sounds awesome. Like added benefits for eating mushrooms. Great, so this is bubbling away, and I'm going to just bring this up. I don't know if you're going to be able to see into the pan, but you certainly can hear some of that sizzle and pop there. And I placed them cut side down first, hoping that it would help display some of these, some of the grid cuts that we made and make a really pretty flower. Yeah, I love adding mushrooms to the foods that I make, whether it's like raw ones to a salad, or maybe steaming them up and adding them to green beans, or simply to a sauce. These are some of my favorite ways to eat mushrooms. But I really like this recipe because, like I said, it showcases mushrooms in a super big way. Ooh, these are getting very close to done. So they're going to cook until they get just golden.
These are ready to be put.
Awesome. And in the meantime, I'm going to heat up the skillet that we have here. Sure, you could use a wok, but I just wanted to bring a skillet up close so that you could see exactly what we're doing. And we're going to be adding some great flavor items and, of course, more vegetables to this dish. And really bringing it together, helping those flavors to melt. It's going to be awesome. As soon as that skillet is warm, go ahead and add a bit of that oil and maybe get some of the peppers and flavors melding together.
Okay, so we have here some canola oil. I'll drop a tablespoon and a half of oil in here. I'll just let that heat up.
Very nice. So these are ready, and I know we have a few that we cooked up in advance. Where are they? Oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't look behind me. Okay, so let me show you what these look like. You're gonna love, love, love how they come together. You can see it's gonna be super hot because they just came out of the oil, but you can see how pretty that flour is for us. All right, awesome. So I know I've cut several different types of peppers. I don't know about you, but the recipe calls for a red jalapeno, and I only found a green one at the store.
Yeah, I've never seen a red jalapeno. I couldn't find myself either, but the green jalapeno looks just as good. And then to add some color, we also have red peppers, which are also another healthy vegetable to include. So it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. I love it. So, oh yeah, let's go ahead and get things sizzling. So take your pick of peppers. I also picked up an Anaheim pepper. The recipe didn't exactly call for it, but how fun to include some rounds of Anaheim. We've got the bell pepper, as Kay mentioned, and of course the jalapeno as well. So it'll have some nice kick to it. Oh, and the garlic. Can't forget the garlic. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It's really, really smelling beautiful. I say go for it. Let's do this.
And lastly, we have some scallions. Mix everything. And then this is just more of to taste, just add a little pinch of salt and some black pepper.
I cannot tell you how delicious this smells.
Yeah.
Good job. Wow.
Why don't we bring this up to the screen so we can see what this looks like.
Sounds great. I'll reach across. So you see all those beautiful shapes, the beautiful colors, and you know that all of this is just going to add lots and lots of flavor to our mushrooms here. So we can probably add the mushrooms.
Ready?
Yeah.
Add our mushrooms in here.
Cannot wait. I'll let you get these in there as well.
These are hot sort of ones.
Perfect.
Just toss them around. Make sure it mixes well with all the vegetables, all the peppers.
That is absolutely gorgeous. So all the different things that we have going on for National Nutrition Month coming up on the 25th, you do want to check out, again, our live video. We're going to be featuring a serenade salad. Ooh, what are you adding there?
This is some sesame oil, just to enhance a little bit of the flavor. Just putting a little bit on each of the mushrooms. And then we're going to just let it saute a little bit longer.
All right,
Finishing off. So we are just about done with this dish, and it smells phenomenal.
Yes, it does. It does. Oh, I think we're ready to plate that. I can't wait, in all honesty.
Okay. I think that's it ready. If you want to show us your cameras.
Oh, I'll let you go ahead and plate it. So in advance, we cooked up steamed up some green beans. I thought that was kind of a nice combination and a great way to showcase these mushrooms. You know, like I said, sometimes we add cremini mushrooms sliced to our green beans. This time we're going to be adding mushroom flowers from the king oyster mushroom. So gorgeous! Oh my goodness. What a great pick of a recipe, and I love how getting some of those peppers on there really is just going to add to some of that spice and flavor.
Ooh, I'm just gonna throw some of the peppers right on top.
Very, very pretty.
Not just to decorate, but because these taste delicious.
Yeah.
And
Gorgeous.
what do you think about maybe adding some almonds on top of
Maybe
these?
right. Yeah, I think the almonds sound like a great touch.
So this is what our plate looks like, and then I'm gonna decorate it with some almonds and then this can be served. I personally am a big fan of the spicy mayo, so just mayonnaise with sriracha, or you can can you pass me the soy sauce, please?
Absolutely. Low sodium soy sauce.
Or we can use a low sodium soy sauce. And this is our finished product.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you, Lizzie.
And thank you all for joining me today. It's such a pleasure to have you with me and be able to celebrate National Nutrition Month and a world of flavors. That's what this month's about. Well, actually, we're going to celebrate big time this month, but these are things that you can do throughout the year. Thank you again.
Thank you, and we'll see you on the 25th with my serenade salad.
High five.
Yeah?
High five.
I'm so